Kyle here from allmediareviews.blogspot.com, and this is Amoeba Records. What's in my bag? Of course, I took a trip to San Francisco, Walnut Creek more specifically, and then visited the city of Berkeley, and returned to, and took another visit to Amoeba Records, some other places. In Berkeley, California, off Telegraph Avenue, and this is what I got. So I got that bag, of course, but I picked up two items. Pain of Salvation's, would it be their, fourth, fifth, sixth album, Scarsick. Controversial record, and I have to take this out of here. And I found it at a very affordable price. That was part of the reason. I'm collecting, as you can see here, I'm trying to get all the Pain of Salvation records on vinyl. Don't have them all, but I have a number of them now. I don't know, this is like the fourth one I've got, because I've got B, and I'm gonna have to take this off. B was the last one I purchased, and the one before that, I ended up getting Remedy Lane and The Perfect Element when they issued them. I'm still missing some of the other ones, but now that I have, and I have Passing Light of Day, and I have 12.5 also, so I could do I'll have to do a whole video on those, but, so this is a double record gatefold, of course, album from 2007, the final record with drummer Johan Langel, I believe is the original drummer. And the first album without Christopher Gildenlow, Daniel's brother. Let's see what else this comes with besides. Comes with an insert with the lyrics. There's a lot of controversy about this record. I came out in 2007. It was a long wait after B had come out. They were wanting, and it is considered the sequel in some ways to The Perfect Element. I've always liked this record, but I also always have, I understand why people don't. I mean, there's a little bit of rapping on it, and there's a lot of political stuff. A song like America and Kingdom of Loss, I believe it is. It's one of the songs off of, that references the original Perfect Element. But overall, I think it flows pretty well. It's a little different sounding. Maybe it has some new metal elements, but Flame to the Moth is on that. Enter Rain. Those two are two of the best songs on here. Disco Queen. The fusing of sort of influence 70s disco or dance music with metal was interesting with the outro. Title track, Spitfall. I mean, they tried some different things. Not all of them worked, but I think it worked enough. And put it this way, there's records that have, I don't know, Pain of Salvation really has never put out really a poor record. But if I was choosing, this would not be at the bottom if I ever do my rankings. I don't think it would be at the bottom of my rankings. So, yeah, I'll just take care of this later. So, what also was in my bag? I found, and that was for a very affordable price. I think it was like $15. That was part of the reason why it's a double vinyl for $15. I think it might be the debut album from School 7 Bells. It's called Alpinisms, I believe. Yeah, and this was at $15 too. So, the story with this band is, I'm gonna show something else that's sort of related to them. School 7 Bells, which was the two DeHeza sisters and Ben Curtis. I think Ben Curtis might have at one point played with Secret Machines. Anyway, the late Ben Curtis, unfortunately. I saw them live. I listened to this. They played them on Radio K a lot. These kind of tribal scenes, and then it's very environmental, these environmental or just these structures, these mountain structures, alpinisms. Came out in 2007 or 2000, I think maybe 2008. 2008. I listened to this. I saw this at Cheapo multiple times, and not at Amoeba, obviously, because I wasn't going. Although I had gone to Amoeba around that time. This is interesting. 2007. That was the last time I was there in Berkeley. Last time I was in Amoeba was about 5 years ago. That was in the Hollywood one. There's a couple of fingerprints. I did not see this when I first got it. I don't know if those can be rubbed off, but yeah. I mean, I didn't pay a ton for this. I was thinking I was getting a pretty good. Part of the when I was examining this in the store, like this side looks fine, but the deal was this was as I saw this band live. I liked some of the music, but I didn't buy the CD at the time because I wasn't sold enough on their style. It was a little too light. I mean, it had moments. It's very like dream, neo-psych, dream pop. But then when I saw them live, and I saw Warpaint open for them, that was the primary reason I was going. Even though Warpaint had just had the EP, and I was new to them at the time too, they were just trippy as hell live at School of Seven Bells. And I ended up going to see them 2 more times. I can't remember. Yeah, the DeHeza sisters, the twins. One of them left. The last time I saw them, one of them already left. But all the shows I saw, I maybe only saw them twice. I know, but unfortunately Ben Curtis passed away not that long. They did another record after this, at least one record after this. But I think they're from upstate New York or from some part of New York. It was part of that sort of mid to late 90s New York electronic scene, although they're not as electronic as some of the bands. Yeah, Alejandra and Claudia DeHeza, and then Benjamin Curtis. Benjamin Curtis played a lot of the guitars, but, well, it's a little bit like that Esperanza Spalding record I bought. It might play okay, but it's a thick pressing, but I thought I was getting kind of a deal, because I figured, well, I love them live. I haven't listened to this album in a long time. For $15, and I wasn't finding a lot of other stuff. They had the Mars Volta's Tremulant I could have bought for $20, which that's not as hard to find. I figured this would be a little more difficult to find. So, anyway, School of Seven Bells. So that was what's in my bag at Amoeba Records. That was what's in my bag at Amoeba Records in Berkeley, California. Of course, Berkeley, California, off of Telegraph, has Amoeba Records just a few businesses down. It's like 2 blocks. They have another record store that's somewhat well known, and I think it's not the only location, known as Rasputin's. And we went there after I went to Amoeba, and I didn't find a lot. Unfortunately, my back was bothering me. By the way, I'm drinking Mother Waterloo. Another flavor we found, tropical fruit. I'm not so sure. It's like a mixture of grapefruit and pineapple. It tastes like pina colada, so I'm maybe a one and done, but among the 25 flavors of Waterloo water that I drink or that are available, and many of them I drink, that my wife and I drink. But I did find a copy on CD of the new Warpaint album. Speaking of Warpaint and School of Seven Bells, when I saw a tour with them, Radiate Like This. Just the CD. They didn't have the vinyl, so I'm still gonna have to seek out the vinyl. I had it in my hand like a year ago, right after it came out, and I was buying a bunch of other stuff, and I put it back, so I had to wait. But I'll put, I think, one of their albums on CD. I have all the vinyl except the newest one, but this one, interesting artwork there. Trying to show that. It's interesting how there's something in the sleeve here. It's like some of the credits or something, and I can't really see it. It's like hidden. I don't know if it's the credits or something you can see right there. I'm not sure if there's more to that, or this is just a poorly designed case. That'd be my guess, since this is not a lot of money was spent. I think this is credits. Yeah. Anyway, good record. So I did get that too. The wife got some stuff also, but I'm not showing that because that's her stuff. So transitioning on to some other stuff that has come in. Wearing my Kevin Gilbert Shame of the True shirt. I did take some video. I took some video and photos of. They had a card for Kevin Gilbert at Amoeba. I don't think they had one at Hollywood. I don't remember, but you don't have in the vinyl section. But so the Kaviar stuff that I mentioned multiple times. To get my CD, here's what the CD says. Of course, what comes with those extra tracks. Horizontalized New Orleans and Hard Life, which I have not listened to yet. Which is shame on me being the lifer, But here it is, of course, the newly remix, remaster with the extra tracks. Like I'm trying to do multiple things here. Cool looking artwork on the CD, of course, and the band. The guy here on the right, I've always thought almost reminded me of Kevin. It's not Kevin, but this has, yeah, Guilty by Association, Bill Bottrell, of course, is including John Rubin and Centra Wilson. I know she wrote some of the lyrics for this. So, of course, the t-shirt. I mean, I didn't get the whole bundle. I probably should have got it, but, you know, it went down to $125. I probably should have, the price and everything. But I'm not going to wear this yet. I need to wash it, because stuff that gets shipped in the mail with packaging and stuff sometimes doesn't carry the best smell. So, of course, the highly desired by some people, by the fanatical Kaviar fans, the vinyl, which the way they shipped it like this, you can see, limited edition. I don't think this is numbered, but I have yet to open this and look at it. Of course, my neighbors, we got some sound coming from the high school nearby. I can hit it. I don't know if it's going to come on the recording, but cool looking, sort of, not glossy, but sort of like a glossy. Got the produced by Kevin Gilbert, all the standard track listing right there, including Fall in Love with Me, the Iggy Pop cover, I believe. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of similar to the Shaming. So basically, it's thick pressing, of course. Everything that Kevin did, including, I guess you could say, I don't own Tuesday Night Music Club, has come out on vinyl. Other than Giraffe, and then Live at the Troubadour, and then the compilations. That's it. I mean, all his standard, you know, where he sang and or, you know, it was his band. I don't know if this is going to be a new process with where you keep the actual record in a separate sleeve like this. I don't know if it's even ever... yeah, I could go in here. I don't know if I'm going to... because it does have a hole. But, then here's the insert sheet. Oh, this is where the vinyl actually would probably... So you could put it in any number of places with all the lyrics, of course. And all the credits. Yeah, that Fall in Love with Me is the... Iggy Pop and David Bowie wrote that originally. Broken. You know, I mean, as a completist, this is primarily the reason like I said, I've probably only listened to this album less than 30 times, maybe 20. I've heard some of the songs more than that, but, all right, I want to try to play around with this and try to put this in. I'm going to maybe do that in a minute after I'm done here with this. So, on to a few other house cleaning items. There's going to be, well, first of all, Childish Japes put out a new song a few weeks ago. I didn't even realize it. And then they did a animated video of sorts. Childish Japes with Joanna Teters or Teters. I think it's Teters. And I've listened to it maybe 5 or 6 times now, and I'm really liking it. And my computer is now frozen up. No, it's not. It's called Another Lost? No, it's not Another Lost. Let's see here. Yeah, Another Dose, rather. Really, really good. The first song, Cross Breeze, they released like early to like mid-March or something. I thought was just okay. I like their instrumentation, her vocals, they're not bad. Not amazing. She has a kind of a soulful style, almost like Amy Winehouse in some ways. She has more of a soul or R&B style, vocal style, Joanna Teters. But this one has very jazz, like a jazz funk. It reminds me of Snarky Puppy, as I posted on social media, a little bit like Raina Kindo or maybe Thank You Scientist. I mean, it's not as layered as those bands as much, but the overall kind of approach, style, feel, tone, nature of it has kind of in the similar territory as I could easily see Snarky doing something like that. And Joanna sounds really good on this track. There's great sax arrangement. So another dose. The deal with Childish Japes though is that they put out the last record came out in like 2020, right during COVID. It was all instrumental. I forget the name of it. I have to look it up. But their previous record, their debut album, was like 2018. Salamander. It was just called The Book of Japes. That was 2020. But Salamander, it was 2018. Pretty sure. It's on their Bandcamp page. And I don't know if they could buy a physical copy. No, they never sold as a physical. They need to press it. But that featured Dave Vives. Dave Vives is a fantastic singer, at least on that record. He sounds a lot like, but in a good way, Jeff Buckley. And the music itself is just really good. So when he wasn't working with Childish Japes, I was wondering why, but there's probably obvious reasons. It's interesting, Joanna Teters on Instagram is followed by Dave Vives. So he's still a great talent, but after hearing this new song, Another Dose, I'm really more intrigued by this new record. It's supposed to be like a double album, and they made it a couple years ago. It's been done, they remixed and patented, and they put these videos out, so they're just kind of biding their time, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next month or two, if not earlier, a few weeks, we're going to find out more information. It's supposed to be a double album, so another thing that's coming out tomorrow, Janelle Monae is putting out something. She put it a quick little teaser, which is a little on the seductive side, which is better for worse, called like, what is it? Something pretty... Lipstick Lover, not pretty. That's one song though. Her last song I just loved. I didn't like Dirty Computer that much, but the song she put out a couple months ago, I was really enjoying. So, Lipstick Lover comes out tomorrow. I think that's about it. Well, there were a couple other albums that got announced. Local Natives. Local Natives' new album is coming out on July 7th. It's called Time Waits for No One. Time Will Wait for No One, I believe. Yeah, Time Will Wait for No One. Will Wait. TWW, the teaser. And they had a song called NYE, which is referred to the first single. I'm just sort of lukewarm on it. The video, we'll see. I guess sometimes stuff grows on me. But Local Natives, I've been meaning to do like a full video on them. I've been a fan since they were Call Out Rest in 2007. On their first EP, The Orion Way, or the second EP technically. And then they changed the name and did the debut album to Local Natives, Gorilla Manor, and really since Gorilla Manor, every record's been good to really good. I mean, Gorilla Manor's still probably my favorite, but their last record, Violet Street, I really enjoyed. Had a couple really good bangers. So, I did not see them live last year. They put out an EP, I think it was 2021. 2020, 2021 called like Sour Lemon, which I like, but I haven't listened to that many times. So, we'll see. Again, they have this is their 5th record, and every record I've liked. I thought Violet Street might be my second favorite record of theirs, actually. So, I should do a video on them. Anyway, that's coming out July 7th. Switching gears to entertainment, the Babylon 5 animated movie's now got a title. It's coming out on Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. It's called The Road Home, or Babylon 5, The Road Home. Casting-wise, like I was speculating last week, it's got Bruce Boxleitner, Claudia Christian's coming back as, whatever, I forget her character's name off the top of my head, but Claudia Christian, the woman who plays Lita is coming back, Patricia Tallman, Peter Jurassic's coming back as Londo, of course. But they recast a bunch of people, including Phil Lamar as the Doctor, Dr. Franklin. It's a kind of a wait and see. I'm hoping that it will work out. Like Delenn, the woman who played Delenn, has been recast because Sheridan's character, Bruce Boxleitner, who plays Sheridan, he, of course, is married to Delenn, toward the end of the story and the finale and stuff. So what happened to her? The only person I saw, or the only person I could think of that I didn't see listed in the casting was Walter Koenig as Bester. But most of the, all the details aren't revealed, of course, but they recast. I guess I could go through the article real quickly. Gizmodo.com had it, and I'm just wondering how it's actually being released. So, oh jeez, some stuff with my computer. Bill Mummy is Linear. Ivanova, I was thinking. Clyde Christian as Ivanova, of course. And then Tracy Scoggins as Elizabeth Lockley. Interesting, though, the last season of Babylon 5, the fifth one, Lockley basically replaced Ivanova, so the two of them are going to be together. I don't know. It's all animated or whatever. But Rebecca Reedy as Delenn. I don't know who she is. Phil Lamar, again, as Richard as Dr. Franklin. Anthony Hansen, I don't know who that is either, as Michael Garibaldi, Gerard Doyle's character who passed away, the security guard. Paul Guyette as Zothras. Tim I got to remember that character. Andrew Morgado as Jakar. Again, that's a big one, because Andrew Katsoulis kind of owned that character. It's really him, but we'll see. It's only a voice. Pieter Michael as John Sheridan's father. Was played by Rance Howard, one of the Howard brothers, But anyway, it says it's coming out this summer on I don't know if that means it's coming out as a online thing only, if it's being sold to one of the streaming networks, HBO Max, or whatever, or those details haven't been announced yet. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But that's about it. I mean, of course, I just went through the trip. I took a lot of photos and video, but I don't know, it'll end up on my social media or whatever. I wouldn't recommend, I'll say that taking an Uber, which I had to do from Walnut Creek all the way into Berkeley, round trip with tips was $62. So it tells you maybe why I didn't purchase as many, as much as I might have, but, for a trip and stuff like that. We were there for 5 days, but overall it's fine, it was for my family, my cousin's wedding and stuff like that, but, we're going to be maybe planning to go to the Rock Hall in Brooklyn, New York, and some other trips down the road, but there have been some concerts announced too, like the Mars Volta is coming to, of all places, the Uptown Theater, which was always a movie theater, now is a concert venue in September. That got announced. There's a couple others, but there's also a documentary tonight, which I may not be making it to. I've seen years ago on Independent Film Channel, called Driver 23 and the Atlas Moth, or the two parts or whatever. Found footage kind of thing about this guy named Dan Cleveland, who's a musician. He's sort of, I wouldn't say he's schizophrenic. He might be on the spectrum a little bit, but the quote about, to compete with bands like Dream Theater, Queensryche, and Rush, we have to be better than excellent. From Minnesota here, set in like the early 90s. Their band was called Dark Horse. But if I don't make it, maybe it'll be available like on Netflix or one of the streaming networks. I'd like to revisit that, because I saw it years ago and it was like, the guy's from here, but at the point that it was shot, and Dark Horse might have been an actual band, because it has more of like a Spinal Tap. You kind of question how real everything, or some of it could have been scripted and staged. I would have been teenager, too young to go to a bar to see a band, unfortunately. So, but otherwise I should have been, I've been aware of them. I don't think they even have any studio recordings, but it was set in Minneapolis. A lot of the footage is set here. So, but anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll see you next time.